Good morning to everyone. I'm Dr. Sumi MS. The topic of my today's presentation is Moore and Mealy model from Unit 3 Sequential Logic of Digital Logic Circuits and Design. On completion, the students will be able to differentiate between Mealy and Moore machine and also be able to explain the state table and the state diagram of Mealy and Moore models. There are two types of finite state machines that generate output. They are Mealy machine and Moore machine. A Mealy machine is a finite state machine whose output depends on the present state as well as the present input. So it can be described by a 6 tuple which includes q, epsilon, o, theta, x and q naught, where q is the finite set of states, epsilon is a finite set of symbols called the input alphabet, o is the finite set of symbols called the output alphabet, eta is the input transition function, x is the output transition function, and q naught is the initial state from where any input is being processed. So the state table for a Mealy machine is given below with present state and next state and its corresponding state diagram. With respect to the state table, the state diagram is given for the input 0 and 1. Moore model. Moore model is a finite state machine whose outputs depend on only the present state. It can be described by the 6 tuple q, epsilon, o, eta, x and q naught, where q is the finite set of states, epsilon is the finite set of symbols called input alphabet, o is the finite set of symbols called output alphabet, eta is the input transition function, x is the output transition function, and q naught is the initial state from where any input is being processed. So same like Mealy machine, we have a state. We can represent the state table for the Moore machine with present state and next state for different input combinations and its corresponding state diagram. And let's see the differences between Mealy and Moore machine. In Mealy machine, the output depends upon both the present and state and the present input, whereas Moore machine, the output depends on the present state alone. Mealy machine, it has fewer states, whereas Moore machine has more states than Mealy machine. The value of the output function is a function of the transitions and the changes when the input logic on the present state is done in the case of a Mealy machine. Whereas in Moore machine, the value of the output function is a function of the current state and the changes at the clock edges whenever state changes are occurring. Mealy machines react faster to inputs, whereas Moore machine, more logic is required to decode the outputs, resulting in more delay in the circuit. Quiz questions on Moore and Mealy model. Draw the state diagram of Mealy model. Write down the state table of Moore model. Differentiate between Mealy and Moore machines. Thank you.